Hello singers, welcome to the voice blog. Today I want to talk about finding power in the mix. So, previously I was talking about how to find head voice. Let's say that you found some head voice, you found some release, you found an easy place, it's light and it's easy. You can maybe make some sound like this. Wee 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 wee. Wee 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 wee. You've maybe found some light sound like that. It may be even lighter, just like wee 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 wee. You may have found something like that, and you're thinking, how can I add to that? Well, that is the right foundation. The way to know if you've got the right foundation, the way to know if you found some release, is ask yourself this: do I feel like I'm on top of the note? What I mean by that is when we talk, we don't feel like we're reaching upwards. And when you're higher in your voice, it should be the same. You should never feel like you're reaching up to the note. You should always feel like you're on top of it. If you can find some sound, wee wee wee, and it feels like I'm not reaching up, I'm on top of it, then that's a pretty good indication that you have found a little bit of release. The way to add to that is to use consonants to help you add some bite to the sound. What we're trying to do is we're trying to combine that released sensation with a little bit of compression. The chords need to come together. We're trying to combine those two sensations though. They're not separate. So, we find the release first. Wee, wee, wee. Then we add an N. Wee, wee. Nee, nee, nay, nay, na, na. All of a sudden, we've got a little bit of bite, we've got a little bit of mix there. The most important thing to note is, as we change, the resonance has to stay in exactly the same place. As soon as it shifts, you know you're doing it wrong. As soon as it does something like this, wee, wee, nee, nee, nay, nay. As soon as that happens, as soon as that resonance starts to shift out the mouth and drop, you know you're doing it slightly wrong, you're starting to yell. So, keep everything the same. All you're adding is a little bit of at to the sound, really. If I had this kind of thing in my speaking range, wee wee wee, nay nay nay, na na na, ma ma ma, everything stays the same. I'm just changing the vowels and consonants. Nothing shifts. I don't go wee wee ma ma ma. Doesn't change. So it should be the same up high. Wee wee wee, nay nay, no no no, ma 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 ma. All of a sudden we found some mix, and because we started with the right foundation, we started with that wee wee release sound, and we added to it, and we kept everything the same. All of a sudden we were in mix without really feeling like we were doing much. Because really, the only difference between that light sound and mix when you're doing it right is there's a little bit more airflow and a little bit more compression in the chords. That's it. Everything else stays the same. So, learning to sing is more of learning what we need to leave well alone and keep exactly the same. And then there's only one or two things we actually need to change. And when we change those things, we find that the voice can do a lot, really, with very small changes. It doesn't need, it doesn't need to be aggressively, dragged about. It's just small, subtle changes that create more power and more substance to the voice. Often people think that the changes that they need to make are a lot more crude than the actual changes they really do need to make, the subtler changes. The changes that you need to make between just making that light sound, wee wee wee, and making more of a mix, wee wee, ma 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 ma, the changes are subtle. They're not large changes, they're very small, precise changes. So, if you want to add to your light head voice that you found, or your connected falsetto, however you want to describe it, think of it in terms of small, precise changes rather than big, aggressive changes. If you can find that light mix, and you can add to that, you'll find that as a result of that, you have a lot more balance in the middle of your voice, particularly, and also you'll find that dragging up that weight becomes something that you start to leave behind and forget about, because you just realise singing's a lot easier when you don't have to deal with that. So, I hope this has helped you today, guys. Please comment, rate and subscribe, and remember that my website, link to my teaching website, is below. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.